Hi, I'm Liu Chun Lian, MDT Innovations. I'm the CEO, and so this.
Hi, I'm Sim Han Wai from MDT Innovations. I'm the CEO of the company. Just hold on. I'll just-
I understand that MDT Innovations has been previously very strong in the manufacturing sector in Malaysia. Maybe you could share more on the market potential of IoT in Malaysia itself first, at the beginning.
Yeah, I think manufacturing sector is very important in Malaysia. The fact that the cost is ever increasing, all the manufacturers have every reason to move into IoT to streamline the production costs. So it's going to be continue to stay in Malaysia, and yeah, it's a big potential.
I would like to put it this way. Many people tend to relate IoT to manufacturing because people tend to think about Industry 4.0. To us, MDT as an IoT enabler, we have traditionally been developing embedded solutions and also service-based solution in different industry sector. So we are not limiting our scope and our customer base to the manufacturing sector. We are very strong in security, track and trace. So there are things like asset management, things like monitoring crowd movement, and things like access control. And maybe Sim can elaborate more. And those are the industry sector and the verticals that Malaysian IoT players can explore. Maybe you can elaborate that, the 4 verticals?
Yeah, I think the 4 verticals that Malaysian, I would say we have one IoT Malaysia platform that actually have identified 4 verticals. Manufacturing is one of them. There are 3 other verticals, which is healthcare, agriculture, and transportation. So these are probably the main focus in IoT that Malaysia will probably enjoy for the next 5 to 10 years.
And to elaborate on that, let's say when we talk about the transportation vertical, people tend to think about traffic and street lights. Actually, there are safety issues, right? Public safety issues, transportation safety, right? Ease of flow, the flow of traffic and things. So smart transportation is part of the IoT program that we are currently involved. And we develop solutions with partners, big companies and small companies to provide a complete solution. So that is part of the things that we are currently doing. Yeah?
So when you talk about partners that you work with to develop transportation logistics, to grow this sector, right? What kind of partners are you think Malaysia is still lacking or that can help to improve and bring in?
Good question. Yeah.
Well, I think we do not lack of talent. I think we have a lot of software development house that can actually provide solutions, provide visualization, can do data analytics, can do data warehousing. I think what is more important is ability to understand the problem domain. It's actually very important to help our customer to solve a specific problem or enhance user experience. So if there are, generally MDT prefers this kind of partner because time to market is shorter. We do not want to spend too much time in the product development. That will probably slow down a lot of things, and the progress of MDT growth is going to be very slow. The last thing we want to have is actually to create a lot of opportunity costs. Let's say we are working with partners that are not capable with.
I think he has answered the question very well. When you ask about manufacturing, if there's something that the Malaysian company can further contribute to the growth of IoT industry is in countries like Taiwan, Korea and Japan, they have the dynamics. A company doing a product surrounded by component suppliers and relevant parts maker complementing to the whole ecosystem in the manufacturing sector. I think that is what is lacking in Malaysia. A PCB printed circuit board company based in Penang, another design house based in Shah Alam, or a product development company in another place. It is quite, I would say we are not concentrated like what they are doing in China and in Taiwan. This is something that we can always learn. There are some Penang companies are initiating, trying to do this kind of program, which is a very positive signs. And I'm seeing a lot of support from MIDA and the government sector. So this is something very positive that I am I'm seeing. So I hope it will move forward smoothly. Yeah.
So I believe from what you mentioned just now, the supply side is actually improving a lot. At the demand side of portion, some of the survey results that we had, right, showed that a lot of people, 4% of our participants are still only just adopting IoT on, does not even understand what IoT is about. Maybe you can give them a few advice. What is the first step to do when you want to learn about or implement IoT?
I think we have passed the stage of understanding IoT, defining what IoT is. Many users are very smart and very well informed in terms of what IoT can do to their company. But probably the growth of IoT in Malaysia is relatively slower. Probably due to the fact that we are living in an era of austerity, a lot of cutbacks. So spending is not as much as what we expected. What we can do is probably now a lot of solution providers are introducing SaaS model, pay as you go, OPEX based. That will probably cut down a lot of expenditure, CapEx based expenditure. Hopefully they can adopt this as quick as possible. So when the economy improves, so is their efficiency, so is their productivity, so is their output, and of course ultimately is their revenue.
In my opinion, in addition to what Mr. Sim has mentioned, in my opinion that IoT implementation that is happening in our country right now in Malaysia is actually quite seamless. People just adopt to the system, and it is happening already. We do not have to deliberately saying that we are doing IoT. You don't have to say that anymore. We are already doing it. Yeah, thank you.
Moving out of Malaysia itself, I believe MDT is also trying to push the IoT awareness, drive the IoT adoption in the region out of Malaysia. Maybe you could share some of the countries that you think have the most potential.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally we have been focusing on a few markets, particularly ICI, which is India, China, Indonesia, and of late Triple A, which is Australia, ASEAN, and Africa. So yeah, that is probably what 70 to 80% of the world. The fact that, of course, in the Far East, especially China, I think the demand is there. The adoption of IoT is probably faster than the rest of the world. So we find that a lot of our export sales are mainly focusing on that. But ASEAN is also a mini China because we have about 600 million population. So the market potential is very huge. And a lot of Japanese companies and even so-called European companies are already looking into investing in startups in ASEAN because this is really an untapped market. So this is a very big opportunity. But not to forget Africa. Africa, although a lot of people think Africa is a very laid-back country, not very well developed. But when opportunity is there when things are not properly, laid down and properly implemented. So this is where we think outside of Malaysia, these are the few target market that we are actually exploring, and also we have actually explored and we are into that market already.
Maybe you would like to name one or two of the market that you observe that will be the most advanced in the next few years.
Currently, China is still if we speak on MDT's perspective, China is still our biggest market. Projects have so-called lucrative margins because they have the budget, and they already knew the requirements and they wanted to accomplish certain goals or solve a certain problem. The new opportunity in the African market is that security is an issue, right? And identity, mobility, these are part of IoT components that we do best. And countries with budgets for implementing such solutions become a new superstar for us. So China market, very excellent as it is. African market to us, it poses huge potential. In my opinion, it can contribute significantly to our future growth.
You mentioned what's very interesting to us would be the security part. When companies start to adopt IoT, right? What are the typical things that they should take note of in terms of security?
Do you mean security in IoT solution? Yeah, I think a lot of industry analysts are actually projecting security. It's going to be a main issue for IoT adopters because they are painting pictures whereby machines are being hacked, identity are stolen, and etc. To us, yes, that is important, but it's not very critical in the sense that our architecture do not focus on a lot of information or privacy information in the device itself. So as long as there's no privacy information within the device, the security level is pretty high. In fact, all our communication, all wireless communication are all encrypted. So we do not, I would say that we have already thought about this. We knew that security could be an issue. Therefore, our wireless communication in our IoT services and devices are already encrypted.
So you've been here for 2 days, Asia IoT Business Platform. Maybe you could share some of the major takeaways from our conference or even from our exhibitions.
I will answer that question because I truly enjoyed the event, and I think the biggest takeaway for us MDT is that you have successfully put together a collection of really real player in this IoT industry, and these are the people who have their core technology and their platform to render the opportunity to all who are here to leverage on the resources. So we have seen the opportunity for collaboration among ourselves, and a few partners already identified, and there were more that we have not identified. So that is the biggest takeaway as far as MDT is concerned. Mr. Sim has the opportunity to interact with some major players. Maybe he has further comments.
Well, I think most important takeaway it's partnership. New partnerships are formed. New product development are being planned. So these are the few key takeaways that I have. I think not only that we are able to interact with a lot of potential users. I think this event attract not only the industry player. Most importantly, we want more users to come and listen to us, not just a few key players within the industry listening to each other. I think that is not supposed to be how we want the things to work around. So these are the few takeaways that I have.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.